Hello, my name is Diego Ramirez. I'm here to present my critical presentation on ethical leader for Kinesiology 505. So let's go ahead and get started. The overview of the presentation here will be my chosen career, leadership styles, leadership strategies, ethical issues, faith integration, and finally a conclusion. So the Life Fitness Center Director position here at Santa Barbara City College is a full-time tenure track position, faculty position that oversees a 7,000 square foot fitness facility, and it's in charge of developing curriculum and also implementing that curriculum through various classes that happen here in the fitness center. The fitness center director is also tasked with the hiring and training of instructors and staff. So, and the instructors consist of full-time tenure track instructors, also adjuncts, and student aides or other staff positions. They're also in charge of budget management for maintenance, replacement of equipment, and hiring as well. And then also one of the key points of a fitness director is to move the program forward with any type of funding that needs to be generated through the participation of students. So in terms of servant leadership, so when I was young, I actually went, this here, I started at a very early age, and I used a transactional leadership approach because I felt like my young age didn't lend itself to be able to catch the attention and respect of my elderly subordinates. So I used a lot of contingent rewards throughout my career at Domino's Pizza. As I went to move from Domino's to Starbucks and went up the ranks as well, I continued using that leadership, that transactional leadership style. Again, mainly because I didn't know how to approach it, but I was good at organizing people and attaining the organizational goals such as budget management and sales. So it wasn't until I began working in the fitness industry in 2005 that I actually began switching to a more transformational leadership. Because of my experience and knowledge. Obviously, my age, as you age, you get more wise. You tend to see things differently. So, and when I got into the educational system at Santa Barbara City College, where I currently work, I definitely used a more servant leadership, and I'm seeing it. I feel it. And as I'm taking this class, I can definitely share that. So, growth and development are central outcomes to servant leadership model. So I'm here to serve students, assist instructors with attaining their educational and career goals. I'm customer service oriented as well, and giving essential human services like education beyond the wealthy and to the less fortunate, marginalized people serves me. It fulfills me, definitely. And servant leadership attracts employees who seek opportunities for personal growth, so myself, nurturing and healing. So I want to go beyond just like, well, I'm here to do a job. I want to serve. I want to give back to my community. I want to give back to the future of kinesiology, the future of education. And above all, Sugar put it perfectly, and that spoke volumes to me. As a leader, I want to bring respect for the human spirit in the workplace. And I want to do that by giving myself my service to others. So there's some leadership strategies that I've identified here. Development and maintenance of employee training program, performance evaluation, and employee relations. So development and maintenance of a program. So why is that important? Allows instructors to be participants. So that's one of my main things that I want to do. I want to be able to focus on. I want to supply the instructors with a topic that they will assist students and serve their present needs and their future, and then present that information and own it as well. supply with weekly, monthly, quarterly, short informative presentations that will enrich their job. I also want to develop some sort of fund that can actually be utilized for people to get more information, diverse information that can help out back in the kinesiology world. Rummel stated that strategy, implementation, and training is vital to the success of any modern organization. And with the way the fitness industry is going, I want to make sure that we have competent instructors, core sets of knowledge and expertise that will give us an edge over our competitors, whether it be other universities, other colleges, certifying agencies, and obviously the growth of the online programs. So how is that coming back to us? As a leader, okay, the main goal is for self-actualization of our followers. Okay, so we want to make sure that our followers can go to their full potential and actually realize that themselves. So performance evaluation is the second strategy. That this is critical for high-level performance, and we want to review the current steps in the evaluation process. Once we review them, we want to make sure that the employees know the mission and the vision of the Life Fitness program, and how this vision and mission applies and aligns with their own goals, and obviously how does that fulfill them as well. And the Life Fitness program mission is to actually teach and serve students. And again, coming back to that, to what we want to perform, we want to perform our best. Okay, and as a servant leader, I'm in charge of the success and the performance of our organization. And how can I deliver that? Is by giving back to my instructors, being there for them, support them in whatever there is they're going to be doing. Employer relations is huge for me, and this is something that I want to introduce an open door policy, where concerns and constructive criticism are definitely welcome. I think it's important because the employees are at the forefront of our our organization. I mean, they're out there, they're on the workout floor, they're teaching students how to better perform exercises, how to better translate into their educational fields. So I want to be able to provide some sort of healthy working relationship between me and my employees. And given that the 20th century was going to be fulfilled with main topics of work, employee relationships, where the growing attention is going towards employee rights, I want to make sure that that is given back. So by working together, by giving them training, motivation, coaching them, communicating, open communication, cooperate with each other, I want to make sure that they can enhance their job satisfaction and they can assist us in attaining our goal. So the outcome as a servant leader, it will create a positive attitude. That's my behavior that I need to instill in my employees. Job satisfaction, organizational commitment, so they want to be committed to us, they want to be committed to our goal, and in keeping them engaged. That's how we're going to be able to do it. There's some ethical issues, so disciplining instructors or students, student information, and recognition of eating disorders. So disciplining instructors, I mean, I know that there are many of the companies out there have programs in place and steps in place to be able to do this. And so a perfect example, Melinda Hinkle was injured under the supervision of a trainer as they were going through their personal training session. The trainer wasn't paying attention to her, wasn't listening to what the client was tell him, that it was difficult. So something like this could present itself here in the fitness center when somebody's not performing their job duties. So they must be spoken to, okay, disciplined, and up to including termination. But if termination is the ultimate, decision, then we need to be cautious because we might be dealing with unions, we might be dealing with contracts, okay, pushback, of course. If we're dealing with students, definitely academic performance and misconduct come into play, but there may be a limitation to what the fitness center director can do. There's usually deans that deal with this type of situation, so we might need to refer them to them for appropriate action. So as a leader, you need to provide that direction. Okay, servant leaders need to customize the directions for their followers, their needs, their abilities, and their input, of course, as well. And we need to provide appropriate amount of accountability. So we're not going to provide like, oh, you need to be in charge of everything, including budgeting, and at the same time you need to be going out to the workout floor and working with students. It's a lot, so we need to do it appropriately, especially if they're only a part-time employee. Student information is another ethical issue that could arise. It happened at University of Washington, where a professor accidentally released a spreadsheet that contained private personal information of about 9,000 students. I know FERPA protects them. However, as a leader, you need to do it as well. I need to be able to be there. How can I do this? I need to develop protocols to diminish or avoid issues like this. And how are we going to contact them? And overall, humility, definitely that's key, because we need to put the interest of our followers first. Provide support and facilitate the performance. Okay, so how are we going to perform better going forward? And stewardship, I need to take responsibility. If I was, if something happened, ultimately it comes back to me because I'm the leader. Recognition of eating disorders as a third ethical issue presented here. The fitness instructors are ideal assistants in the identification of overexercisers or individuals with eating disorders. So with that said, they're not ethically or morally contracted to make contact, but they can bridge that gap that exists, and we can get those individuals, get them out, get them to the appropriate resources so they can get help with their disease. We can also do it. As a leader, I can allow them to continue working out, because if I stop it, then that might create another issue there. So I need to provide my employees with specialized training similar to the ones already allowed or possessed by instructors, so like certifications and stuff like that. So I need to demonstrate empathy for both my instructors, my employees, and the students. Compassion, and there are going to be those times where those tough talks are going to be come into play, and but you must have them. Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for the men. So men are part of the Lord. So even though it says here, not for men, you're working for the Lord because they're part of us. We're all part of Him, and we were created for Him. So as a leader, I want to make sure that I can bring back all of what I've learned, such as servitude, humility, awareness, stewardship, all those things, bring them back into my profession so I can better serve others. And that ultimately, I wanted to do to others as you would have them do unto you. Luke 6:31, the golden rule. Okay, if I want to be treated with respect, dignity, servitude, I must do that first. And once I do that, then I can go ahead and create a better world, not just for me, but for everybody else. And at the end of the day, that's what I want to provide. So conclusion, a lot of power comes with this position, but a lot of responsibility that can be proved to be challenged. But once you deal with them with care and professionalism, sky's the limit. And a strong leadership, a strong servant leadership style can serve and be served. Other people can serve you as well. And develop strategies can be critical to when dealing with ethical dilemmas. Develop and promote a solid mission and vision. Make ethical decisions with a group of people. So like in this case, other leaders in my community, other leaders I've dealt with, and develop rituals that reinforce. So going to conferences, dealing with like coming back to something that reminds you or gets you ready for the next dilemma. Thank you very much for viewing my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. You have a wonderful day. God bless.